What's up, Grill Nation? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and welcome back to the channel. We're in the middle of my favorite time of the year, the holiday season. With the holidays, we know the star of the show is usually the turkey. So today we're gonna smoke a turkey breast. We're doing the breast instead of the whole turkey because usually that's what I do in my household. It's just my wife and I right now, so we don't necessarily need a whole turkey. So I chose to do just the breast, which is my favorite part of the turkey anyway. You can do this really year round, not just the holidays, but it's perfect for the holiday season. You can make sandwiches out of it. You can make turkey salad, whatever you want to do with it. We're gonna brine it, we're gonna smoke it, and we're definitely gonna eat it. So let's go. Now, the very first thing we want to do before we even touch the turkey is get our brine together. You want to probably start this at least 2 days before you plan to eat. So I'm an herb lover personally, so I love herbs and spices, so I'm going to incorporate that into this recipe. So we're going to do basically a herb brine with some of the most famous and quintessential holiday herbs. So what we have right here is 2 gallons of water. We're gonna do 1.5 cups of kosher salt. I know that seems like a lot of salt, but you're gonna need a lot of salt. We're gonna do 1 cup of sugar, and I'm using half granulated, regular white granulated sugar, and the other half I'm gonna do some brown sugar. We're gonna do a whole head of garlic, just with the top cut off, you wanna expose those cloves. A small handful of peppercorn. Black peppercorns is fine. Now for our herbs. I call this the good old Thanksgiving quartet. So we got some bay leaves, we have some fresh thyme, we also have some fresh sage, and some fresh rosemary. Okay, so now we're gonna bring everything together. Here's what we do. We take 2 or 3 cups of that water and put it in a pot and bring it to a boil. Now, after that starts boiling, go ahead and turn your stove off. Add the salt. You may want to stir that in as you add it. We're gonna come right behind the salt with the sugar and just give it a stir until all of it is dissolved. You can kind of dip your spoon in there every minute or so just to make sure you don't have any granules left. Once that's all dissolved, you want to take it off the heat. Now you can start adding all of your herbs and everything else into that pot. Take your garlic, your peppercorns, all of your herbs, and steep. You want to steep those for about 5 minutes. And maybe every minute or so, go ahead and just stir them around and make sure that they're underwater and getting all that good flavor out of those leaves. Now, what you have here is a brine concentrate. So all you have to do now is just add that concentrate with all your herbs and everything into the rest of the water and stir it up. And voila, you have your turkey brine. Just throw it in the fridge, make sure it gets cold, at least down to 40 degrees, I would say. I would do this overnight, just stick it in the fridge, let it sit there overnight and get real nice and cold. Now that your brine is down to temperature, go ahead and throw your turkey in there. Make sure whether you have to, as you can see, I'm using a little plate here, but put something on top and make sure that the turkey is completely submerged into the brine. None of it sticking out. Throw it back in the fridge. I would prefer overnight, at least 8 hours, I would say. Okay, y'all, so it's the next day and our turkey has been swimming in that brine all night long, getting some good flavor. So now you want to take it out of the brine and rinse it off thoroughly. Make sure you rinse all of that salt. You don't want that salty water remnants on the outside of the bird. we're gonna take care of that right before we throw it on the smoker. So make sure you rinse that bird off under some water and put it down and let it dry. You want to get that outside skin as dry as possible. Get you some paper towels, pat it, and just let that dry so we can get a good crisp on the skin as we cook it. Okay, so while the turkey is drying on the outside, I went ahead and got the smoker ready, got it up to temperature. We're gonna probably go close to 300, 325 or less on the smoker. But while that's getting hot, we're going to go ahead and rub the bird down. I've got me a nice little blend of some different things that I had in the cabinet, so we can get the outside good and flavorful and crispy. So what I'm doing is spraying just some cooking oil spray that I had around the house. You just want to get something on that skin to make sure your rub and your seasoning sticks to the outside. So that's the only thing we're doing here. Now right here, you may question why, if we brine the bird, why we seasoning the outside? Wouldn't that be too much? The brine is more so for the inside, for the meat. That brine has penetrated through the skin into the meat. That skin, once you've rinsed the brine off, that skin is completely flavorless. So the rub is more so for the outside, to get the outside skin some flavor. So I'm gonna go ahead and rub this thing down and we're gonna get it outside on the smoker. I got my smoker heated up to around 300 right now. So we're gonna go ahead and throw the bird on. This is the type of smoke we want once we put our food on. You see how it's light? It's not white and thick. It's a very light smoke. You don't want that thick smoke. That means your fire is smoldering and your food is gonna taste bitter. You want that thin smoke. You can see right through it. That's the kind of smoke you want. All right, so we're about an hour and a half in, and right now is the time where I'm gonna put my probe in. We're looking for a done temperature of 165. That's what you're looking for with most poultry. So we're gonna shoot for 165, and we wanna put the probe in the thickest part of the breast, but make sure you're not touching the bone. So you want that accurate meat temperature without touching that bone, so you can get an accurate reading and make sure your food is done. You don't want to eat any underdone turkey or any poultry really. As you can see, we're looking at about 106 at this point. We're about, like I said, 1.5 hours in. So we're at 106 right now, looking for 165. Also, we'll probably give this bird another 30 minutes of smoke. So I'm gonna add another log to the fire at this point. But after that, I think we're gonna have enough smoke on there, so we're just gonna maintain the temperature with extra charcoal and not extra wood splits. My timer has just went off. We just hit 165 and we're right at about 4 hours. So we're gonna go ahead and take the bird off and get it in and rest it. We're gonna put it under some foil. Just tint the foil. You don't have to wrap the whole thing. We're just gonna tint it with foil and let it come down, let it cool down a little bit, and then we're gonna slice it and taste it. So now that the bird has rested, we've let it rest for about 20 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and carve it. Now what I like to do when I'm slicing turkey or even a chicken of some size, I like to take off the entire breast off of the bone and then slice it. I think it's a much better presentation that way, and it's a lot easier to slice as opposed to taking each slice off the bone when you cut it. The first look on this is it looks really juicy. It smells great. So let me go ahead and cut this and slice it up, and we'll taste it and see how it tastes. That's the most important thing anyway. How does the thing taste? So I took one of the breasts here and we're gonna slice it up. I'm gonna try to slice it on a bias. I just think that looks better. So as I'm slicing it, like I said before, it's really juicy. And let me just turn this thing over for a second and show you how it's just like a chicken almost. You can see that tenderloin in the middle. That's gonna want to fall out as you slice. So just try your best to cut into that and make it one big slice. But hey, it's gonna do what it wants to do anyway. If you've never smoked a turkey before, you gotta try this. I'm gonna try my best to convey the juiciness of this bird right now. I'm gonna try to show you as much as I can, or as best I can, but you're gonna have to make this for yourself and just experience this. It's very good turkey. I think that brine has a ton to do with it being so juicy. We've let that thing swim in there and get all nice and happy. So I think that is the difference between your normal dry turkey breast and a nice juicy one. Okay, taste test. Very juicy. Good flavor. Like I said earlier, I'm definitely an herb guy, so I will probably use more herbs next time. I just wasn't privy to how much they would impact the overall flavor, so I think I will probably go more herbs, but definitely delicious. So if you want to make this, I would highly suggest you do that. Or if you want to smoke a turkey or even grill a turkey, I definitely suggest you brine it. So this is pretty good. If you try it out, let me know in the comments. Keep grilling, y'all. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I post a video. So I'm going to catch y'all later. Happy holidays. Peace.